Let's talk about the Utah Mammoths' first 2 game in the NHL playoffs.
But first, folks, before we get into content, we'd like to encourage you to join the conversation in the comments down below. While you're down there, consider subscribing to Utah Mammoth DNA and smash that like button for your boy AJ right over there.
Absolutely.
All right, man. Well, hey, AJ, playoffs are here. And believe it or not, the Mammoth are in it.
Yeah.
That is the first thing to cheer about.
After all the talk, too.
All the talk. Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. So we're 2 games in at the time of recording. The Mammoth did lose game 1, 2-4. The bottom line is that, you went into the third period with the lead and you gave it up.
You coughed it up, man.
You gave it up. And that's something you cannot do for this team.
And the big thing is game 1 was really physical. You know what I mean? Like it was just one of those games where I think the Mammoth took longer than anticipated to really adjust to the super physical play that the Golden Knights were playing with. I mean, and yeah, you have some things kind of, we had some things bounce our way. They had some things bounce their way, but really Vegas controlled the tempo of that game. And I think the score at 4-2 doesn't necessarily depict how much closer that game was.
Yeah, no, I mean, they went offense, empty net, to try and get them back in the game when they were down 3-2. But here's some of the comments here's some of the comments from them post game that I didn't really like. One is this is our first playoff game. I heard that a lot. And I don't know how much I enjoyed that. I'm just okay, guys, act like you've been there before. So
even if you haven't.
Yeah. Well, there's a bunch of players on the team that have. So,
right.
And there's a coach that has been there before, So, to get that first one under our belt, get settled in, really feels good. I don't know if you ever feel good coming out of a loss, but thank you, Logan Cooley, on that one. Obviously, we want to get the win, but you want to get your feet wet a little bit, and how it is, and we need to beat them in game 2. I'm excited at that part, and we're gonna get excited to get ready to get back at it. So now those comments again, you at some point, I guess maybe just for me, by the time I heard it from Logan Cooley, I'm just okay, we've heard it enough. We've heard it from the head coach. We've heard it from the broadcasters. We've heard it from, the analysts. It did kind of look like just in the third period, maybe they were gassed. Maybe the adrenaline ran out. Veggie was looking pretty good through the first 2 periods of this game. And in the third period, it kind of seemed like they just didn't have enough there. And, Vegas, like you mentioned, it just was able to check them enough to keep the game physical and just tired them and wear them down.
Yeah. Yeah. And it was, I think as you're watching this game, I think I'm more worried if they had the intestinal fortitude to win this one, right? As you're watching, it's do you have enough here and here to win this game?
Mm-hmm.
Because it didn't look like it. You could tell the environment was tough. The Vegas fans showed out. You could tell just by watching how loud that place was. And it was really interesting. I mean, to watch it because, it got to the point. It was these could be a rough 2 games in Vegas.
Right.
If they're going to come out and play like this after this much time, we're not going to be able to stay up with these guys. They've got too much playoff experience. They've got a lot of veteran leaders, and we've got a lot of young guys who are admitting after the game that they're young and this is their first playoff game. And this is, it's like they weren't ready for this moment.
Yeah, exactly. And I think that's a good transition into game 2. One of the notes I made here after analysis of game 1 before going into game 2 is, can Utah capitalize on their speed? Can that top line of Keller, Schmaltz, and Krause, who had 0 points in game 1, by the way?
Yeah.
Can they step it up and leverage that speed that this team's known for? And honestly, man, I think they pretty much did that. I think they did quite well in not getting stuck in Vegas's game style of play. Right?
Yeah.
They were able to come back in. They were all about the checks. They were all about that physical play, but Utah really capitalized on their speed and leveraged key turnovers and some great breakaways and some great network by Veggie, by the way, who, which really helped turn the tide in the third period. The Mammoth outshot them 29-21 in this game and really kept Hart, making some really
He made some great plays.
great saves.
Yeah.
Right. So what happened in game 2, I think, is really kind of the key thing there, is that they leveraged what was great about this team and didn't get stuck playing the Vegas style physical type of hockey game, which is great because, again, when you're playing on the road, you want to come home with a 1-1 split. And I think what we have here from Car Wash Channel is a perfect example of that. Utah ties it series 1-1, and game 3 is Friday night at the Delta Center. What's your takeaway from game 2?
I mean, they just look like a different team. I mean, from the very get-go, it just looked like they were on a mission to play to Vegas's level of physicality, and it looked like they had a game plan to actually beat them in that second game. I mean, that first goal in game 2 was on for Vegas was on a Vegas power play.
Mm-hmm.
In that moment, the defense was playing super cautious. And it was funny because I was just saying to one of my kids, like, I don't know if they're moving fast enough for this for them to actually stop this power play. And it was like 1 second later, they punched it in. And I was like, oh, that wasn't a great game. That wasn't a great play right there. You know, and the scoring kind of goes back and forth, but this team looked much, much better. I believe they started Liam O'Brien and he brought some physicality out there. And that really helped them a lot. They looked like they actually belonged there in the second game. You could tell the nerves weren't with them nearly as much. They played physical and they used their speed. I mean, just like you were saying, this team needed to utilize speed to beat this physical team. That's the only thing that's going to beat them, right? We've got some young kids that skate fast, they can get up the ice, and it puts a lot of pressure on goaltenders, right?
Yeah.
And that was how they did it. I mean, they forced the puck. They kept pushing it up the ice. And when you apply that many shots, you know, save percentages are what they are for a reason, right?
Yeah,
Like you can't save all of them.
What I thought was really interesting is you noticed that both first goals were both on deflections for both teams.
Yeah.
They both came off of like a deflection off of a skate or just, off the opposite team.
Yeah.
Like I thought that was pretty interesting.
Yeah.
Like, oh, that's not how you want to start it. And then they both got them like, okay, we each got one.
Yeah. I'm okay.
We're square. We're good.
Yeah. I'm
Puck
okay
don't
with
lie.
that.
Puck don't lie. Man, is this going to be crazy coming into game 3 here in the Delta Center. First NHL playoff game in history at the Delta Center. It's going to be crazy.
Yeah. I'm just glad because they look like a team that possibly has 3 more wins in them. Right after that first one, I wasn't sure they were ready to be here. It seemed like the stage was a little bit too big. But after watching game 2, it seems like these guys are up to the task. We've got enough veteran leadership to kind of keep this team focused, and we got to keep playing with speed. But I mean, a little bit of luck, and I mean, you could be taking this team in the right direction for sure.
Absolutely. Absolutely. And I really like that they won game 2, not game 1, because that really brings them momentum coming into Salt Lake.
Exactly.
So with the crowd behind them, they should really make a difference, man. So it's going to be a lot of fun.
I agree.
I think they come out and they get a win in game 3, and it's going to be a decisive one, like a 3-1 victory.
That would be sweet.
That's what I'm predicting on that game 3. It's a 3-1 victory for the Mammoth.
I can tell you, playoff hockey is fun to watch, dude.
Oh, yeah.
It is physical. It is fast. Game 1 was probably the first playoff hockey game I've ever watched in my whole life.
Yeah, it very much felt like Olympic gold medal type.
It was intense. It was hard hits and fast moving. And I mean, it was really, I enjoyed it enough where I was like, I have to watch game 2. Like, I got to see this.
We want to hear from you folks. Let us know what your thoughts are in the comments down below when it comes to Utah Mammoth. What's your prediction? What do you think is going to happen in game 3? You got a prediction for us?
I'm going to say, I think Utah, I could see Utah winning in a decisive one in game 3. I think they'll be feeling the juice from the home crowd. Maybe you guys can help us out. I don't know how big the home ice advantage is in hockey.
Oh, in Utah, I think it's going to matter.
I mean, you would think that. And I could see it in basketball with it getting loud. I can see it in football with it getting loud and not being able to hear. But I feel like in hockey, it would be pretty easy for the home crowd to feed off of the energy too. Or the
road crowd.
The road crowd, yeah.
Have to let us know. Let us know.
Yeah.
We want to hear from you guys in the comments down below. Mammoth fans or other franchise fans, if you guys are familiar with playoff hockey, let us know if that's really a big deal. But love to see it. We'd love to have them come with a series lead after 3 games and then see what happens. Because after that, all bets are off, AJ.
Yeah.
We don't know if they're getting out of this round, but the odds go up pretty high.
Pretty high, so especially if they leave with 2 more wins in Utah. Absolutely.
Yeah. You come out with 2 wins. I think it's, what was it? 2-2-1-1-1, right?
Yep.
Is how this series breaks down. So, love to hear it, man. Love to hear it. We're going to see it Friday night. Delta Center is going to be awesome.
Yep.
Once again, folks, thank you for watching Utah Mammoth DNA. We'd like to encourage you to join the conversation in the comments down below. While you're down there, consider subscribing to Utah Mammoth DNA if this is the type of content that you enjoy. While you're down there, smash that like button for your boy AJ right over there.
Do it.